Have you ever felt like your life was following an invisible script? From legendary entrepreneurs like Steve Jobs, to world-changing authors like J.K. Rowling, to the greatest stories ever told like Star Wars, The Matrix, or Harry Potter. All of them, and all of those stories, run on the exact same hidden psychological operating system. This isn't a coincidence, it's a design. And what if I told you that this operating system is also running inside your mind right now? That it holds the key to transforming your most chaotic struggles into your most meaningful adventure. In the next 20 minutes, I'm not just going to show you this secret blueprint. I'm going to give you the map and the compass so you can use it, starting today, to become the protagonist of your own life story.
We often look at great stories and think of them as an escape from reality, a world of dragons, starships, and magic wands. This is the old paradigm. The hero's journey is a tool for writers, a formula for blockbuster movies. It's interesting, but it's out there, on the screen. Our lives are in here, in the real world, which is messy and unscripted. But that is the single biggest misconception that keeps us feeling lost. The new paradigm, the breakthrough insight understood by psychologists, mythologists, and the most effective leaders, is this. The hero's journey isn't a formula for art. It is a mirror for the human psyche. It is not a story you watch, it is the story you are living. The scholar Joseph Campbell called it the monomyth, after studying thousands of stories and myths from all over the world and throughout history. He discovered they were all telling the same core story, a story of transformation. And today, we're going to call it the Protagonist Protocol. Because this isn't a passive theory for you to admire, it's an active protocol you can trigger. It is the psychological compass we were all given, but very few of us were taught how to read. Until now.
So, what exactly is the Protagonist Protocol, or the hero's journey? At its core, it's a 12-stage pattern that describes every transformational journey. It starts with an ordinary person in an ordinary world. This person receives a call to adventure, a challenge, an opportunity, or a crisis that pushes them out of their comfort zone. At first, they often refuse the call, but after meeting a mentor, they cross the first threshold and enter a new world of challenges. They face tests, allies, and enemies, and approach the ordeal, where they must confront their greatest fear. After surviving, they receive their reward, begin the road back, face one final test, and ultimately return with the elixir, a wisdom, a new skill, or a new awareness to share with their world. From Luke Skywalker leaving his farm, to Frodo leaving the Shire, to you deciding to start a business, move to a new city, or confront a personal fear, the pattern is everywhere.
But why is this pattern so powerful? Why does it resonate so deeply within our psyche? The answer lies in evolutionary psychology. The human brain is not designed to process raw data. It's designed to understand stories. Stories are how we assign meaning to chaos. And the hero's journey is the master story, the story of growth itself. It perfectly mirrors the psychological process we must all go through to mature, leaving the comfort of our home, the ordinary world, facing the challenges of the real world, tests, learning from our mistakes, the ordeal, and then integrating those lessons to become a more complete version of ourselves, returning with the elixir. When life throws a challenge at us, a job loss, a breakup, a health crisis, our brain goes into panic mode. It feels like a random, meaningless attack. But when we apply this psychological compass, we can say, this is the call to adventure, or I am in the ordeal. Instantly, the chaos gets a name, a context, and most importantly, a purpose. It turns pain into a plot point.
Now you might be thinking, but my life isn't a Hollywood movie. I don't have dragons to slay or princesses to rescue. And you are absolutely right. This is a critical distinction. The compass works at the level of archetypes, not specifics. The dragon you have to face might be your fear of public speaking. The mentor might not be a bearded wizard, but a book, a therapist, or a YouTube video. The elixir you bring back might not be a golden chalice, but the unshakable self-confidence that comes from having faced your challenge. The mistake many people make is they wait for a dramatic, cinematic call. But in reality, the call often whispers. It's that nagging dissatisfaction at your job. It's the desire to learn a new skill. It's the realization that a relationship or a habit is no longer healthy. The Protagonist Protocol teaches us to listen for those whispers because they are the doorways to your growth.
Let's consider the story of Alex. Alex works at a large corporation. His life is the ordinary world. Stable, predictable, but a little boring. He feels a vague sense that he's capable of more. One day, a difficult project that nobody wants comes up. This is Alex's call to adventure. His initial reaction is to refuse the call. He thinks, "I'm not good enough. What if I fail? It's better to play it safe." But then he talks to an older colleague who has managed similar projects. The colleague says, "This project is tough, but it will teach you more than anything else here." This is the mentor. Alex decides to take the project, crossing the first threshold. He faces numerous tests, uncooperative team members, unforeseen technical issues. There are moments he wants to quit. That is the ordeal, a critical presentation to senior leadership. But he gets through it. He learns how to lead, how to solve problems under pressure. His reward isn't just a successful project, but a new sense of confidence and a new skill set. When he is on the road back, he is no longer the same Alex. He returns with the elixir of leadership and is promoted to a more senior role. Alex's story shows what happens when we answer the call versus staying in the ordinary world. One path leads to growth, the other leads to regret.
So how do we actively trigger the Protagonist Protocol in our lives? How do we use this compass intentionally? Here is a simple 3-stage plan. You can't use a map if you don't know where you are. The first step is to identify your current stage. Take out a piece of paper and answer these questions honestly. 1. Does your life feel stable but stagnant? Are you longing for something more? If yes, you are in the ordinary world. 2. Is there a challenge, an opportunity, or a fear that keeps popping into your mind? Something you know you should do but have been avoiding? If yes, you have heard a call to adventure. 3. Are you in the middle of a major struggle, feeling tested and lost? If yes, you may be in the tests phase or even the ordeal. The first and most critical action is this: name your call. Write it down. My call is to start that YouTube channel. My call is to have that difficult conversation. Acknowledging it is the first step to owning it. No hero goes it alone. Once you've identified your call, actively seek out guidance. Your mentor can take many forms: a book on the topic you're trying to master, an online course, a therapist or a coach, a friend or family member who has been on a similar journey. Your task for this stage is this: find one source of wisdom and commit to learning from it. Read the first chapter, watch the first lecture, book the first appointment. Don't try to figure it all out by yourself. Crossing the threshold is not a giant leap. It begins with a single step. Fear paralyzes us because we look at the entire journey and get overwhelmed. The Protagonist Protocol asks you to focus on only one thing: the smallest, most manageable action you can take to move forward. If your call is to write a book, the smallest step is to write one sentence. If your call is to run a marathon, the smallest step is to put on your shoes and walk around the block. If your call is to face social anxiety, the smallest step is to say hello to the cashier. This action breaks the paralysis of overanalysis. It builds momentum. Every great protagonist began their journey with a single step. Your mission is to identify and take that step in the next 24 hours.
Today, we have shifted from an old paradigm, viewing the hero's journey as entertainment, to a new and powerful one, recognizing it as the map for our own lives. We've learned that our struggles are not a sign of failure, but evidence that we are on a meaningful path. They're the echoes of an ancient story of transformation, hardwired into our psychology. The compass has always been in your hands. Now you know how to read it. You know how to diagnose your position, seek guidance, and take the first step. The power is not in waiting for life to happen to you. The power is in realizing that you are the protagonist with the agency to answer the call and shape your story. The sense of purpose, confidence, and meaning you are searching for is not found at the end of the journey. It is found in the courageous act of walking the path itself. So the question isn't whether you are on a hero's journey. The question is, will you answer your call? And to begin, share with us in the comments below. What is the call to adventure you have been refusing in your own life? By sharing it, you make it real. You take the first step.